All right, so Juan Ponce de Leon. This is a guy that sailed from Spain and into Florida. As you can see here, he went in the Caribbean islands and up until St. Augustine, Florida, present day today, and explored around Florida trying to find the Fountain of Youth. Um, so Hernan Cortez founded Florida in 1513. That is false. We know Juan Ponce de Leon was the one who did this. Um, so some main ideas here. Spanish law set up three kinds of settlements in the Americas. So people from Spain set up pueblos, missions, and presidios. We'll get into those. There was a clear class system in Spanish colonial society. Native Americans were enslaved, and Africans, also from Africa, were the lowest class. The Spanish disrupted the lives of native people, forcing them to work in mines and on plantations. So, conquistador, we know that's a Spanish explorer or a Spanish person who conquered land in the Americas from the Native Americans. We have a pueblo. This is a Spanish town that's set up in the Americas. So, again, pueblo, Spanish town in the Americas. A mission. So this is a Spanish religious farming community. So there's usually a church in the community known as a mission. Then we have a presidio, a Spanish fort that's set up to protect the Spanish. So life in the Spanish colonies. Um, we have what's important out here. Um, we don't really need to talk about any of these. Basically, there's different classes of Spanish in the Americas. What you need to know is the lowest class is the Native Americans who originally lived there, and then also enslaved African Americans. So the role of the church, they helped natives create a better supply of food, protect them from enemy. They were able to learn to read and write, develops new skills. Um, the bad. They worked as slaves and replaced traditions and religions for the Native Americans. So this was really big for the Spanish. They wanted to spread Christianity throughout the Americas and convert all of the Native Americans into their religion. Um, in this map, you can kind of see where different countries were settling. Right now, we're looking at Spanish because they're taking over the Bahamas, Central Florida, and some of Mexico, and where the Aztecs, Incas, and um, Mayans used to live. So, Spanish were the first people that were coming over and taking over these empires. Opposition to Spanish rule, so going against the Spanish. Priests begin to push for better treatment of the Native Americans. Natives dislike the system and how they're at the bottom. So the Spanish begin to use Africans as slaves instead of the Native Americans. So they're importing slaves over to their area from Africa. We got some native resistance in the Caribbean. They used poisonous arrows in warfare to go against the Spanish. In the Southwest, due to Spanish burning of Native American religious objects, they staged an attack and drove the Spanish into New Spain. So, as you can imagine, Native Americans fought back during these times while the Spanish were trying to take over. Plantations, these are large farms that raise different crops such as sugar, tobacco, to make money. And these African Americans and Native Americans were put on these sugar plantations to work and do the hard work for the Spanish. So Native Americans were killed or enslaved on these plantations. This was an important part of the Spanish being successful, having the Native Americans work for them. So Spain and slavery, they were first to use them in the Caribbean islands before actually into North America.